nation. No donation, no salvation.
And remember, respect is everything.
Okay, you guys probably saw this one coming from a mile away. This is an update to two figures that I've already looked at, but I wasn't happy with the original video, and I kind of denied it when it came out. But now that I've had some time to look over it and, really look back at that video, I wasn't happy with it. I rambled on too long about, what was it, Mark IV Supras or something? I don't know, something about Japanese sports cars or whatever, and something about the Nissan GT. I just kept ranting about nothing. So, for the sake of, looking at these characters again, I decided to go back and update them slightly, as well as, not waste any more of your time. So, today we are looking at Drift and Windblade. We're going to look at Windblade first, because not much has changed with her. We'll get to Drift in a second, because there's a lot to say about him that I will go over again, because, it's kind of important. Yes, it's not really based on the IDW design. It's more just kind of a mishmash of whatever designs are out there, and I just kind of threw this together. Yeah, here's Windblade's jet mode. There's a lot of undercarriage, I know. You don't need to remind me. But with jets, it's kind of hard to avoid. Although if you put the legs like that, it kind of looks like an X-Wing. Sure, we'll say this is an X-Wing from Star Wars. That's funny. Really not much else to say about the jet mode, so let's just go straight to transformation. Okay, so what we're going to want to do with Windblade here is pull the cockpit up, pull that back all the way to get it out of the way. Next, we're going to pull the arms out ever so gently. If I can just... There we go. And we'll pull her legs out just like that. Rotate. And rotate. Then you want to take her and turn her waist all the way around. And if I can just get this to cooperate with me. There we go. And next we are going to pull the hands forward and just adjust a few things. And you can't see what's happening. Let me tilt the camera upward. But yes, there's Windblade in her robot mode. Which, based on the artwork that I used for reference, it's very kind of, what's the word? I want to say geisha. If you know what a geisha is. I watched maybe one documentary about the geisha and Asian culture, and that's about all I really know about them. So, I don't really know much about Asian culture in general. I mean, all I know is anime and giant robots, so sorry. Let's grab her sword. Because that's kind of an important trait of her character. Because she is also a sword wielder. Alright. It is the wrong color, but, I mean, oh well. We'll have to live with it. And... so we can get her in a cool pose before we move on to Drift. Sure, that'll do. On to Drift. Now, Drift here is not based on his original car mode. He's actually based on a Vector W2, which is a prototype of a sports car called the Vector W8. The reason I chose to base him off a Vector W2 is because I really like the headlight covers. They kind of look like little vents. And I don't know, I always felt like this paint job would work on a car like this. I also have a little Hot Wheels car here of a Vector W8. They're pretty much the same car, just the Vector W2 has a giant spoiler. which I wish they had kept that, but oh well. Here's a Vector W8 toy car, for those interested in that. So just imagine Drift's paint job on this car. So like a white and red Rising Sun paint job. Ironically, the movie that this car appears in the same paint job too, is called The Rising Sun. It wasn't in the movie very long, and I think it got destroyed actually, which is a shame, but oh well, such is life. And then the car that came after that was the WX3, which was the successor to the W8. So, just some neat little car trivia if you guys are interested in that. There's probably tons of that stuff all over the internet. There's plenty of videos on that stuff if you want to learn about, car stuff of that magnitude. Let's get to transformation for Drift. So yeah, not much has changed aside from I fixed the roof line a bit and added the giant spoiler. So here, let's stand him up. Oh, and the spoiler broke. Of course it did. Just pull the arms out ever so gently. Okay, make sure I'm doing this right. Next, you want to rotate his arms out. And then what you want to do is rotate his head out. Then you want to rotate his waist. You want to split this. That tab honestly may be too big, but yeah, let's fix that real quick. Okay, sorry about that sudden jump cut. I wanted to fix the legs because I didn't like the way that tab looked. Okay, anyway, proceeding with transformation. Take this, pull out his skirt armor, because he's supposed to have sheaths on the side for his smaller blades like the Generations toy, but I couldn't quite figure it out, so I just kind of left it out. I guess if you want to, you could rotate it like that so the red's showing on this side. Give it a little more color, I guess. And I think that's about it. So yeah, that kind of acts as his skirt armor. Speaking of his swords, let's go get his swords. Thankfully, I had them on hand. So, there's one of his smaller swords, which I kind of prefer these, but, for the sake of, being I guess, I don't know if I'd call this completionism, but I did build his other sword as well, so if you don't want to use those, you can also equip his main sword. So yeah, the other swords are kind of just, I guess, backups, or if he wants to throw them in a Decepticon's face and then throw the other one in somebody else's face and then take out the main sword and chop him in half. Yeah, there is Drift and Windblade. And I hope you all enjoyed.
Hallelujah! Another soul saved!